Tuesday, November 12th. So today we have the moon in Pisces going void, of course, 1:14 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're locking into Aries energy at 1:27 a.m. again Eastern Standard Time, which is a very short window of time for the moon to be void, of course. When the moon is void, things are shaky, things are unstable, things are uncertain, and of course the transition out of Pisces energy into Aries energy is always a welcomed one. We're ending a particular emotional chapter, a particular emotional life lesson under that Pisces energy. And when we shift into Aries energy, we're initiating something new. It's a fresh, clean slate. We are definitely in a new emotional chapter that we are about to kind of progress ourselves upon. And that Aries energy definitely puts a little bit of pep back in our step. So there are 14 different aspects taking place here today, a little bit of a busy day in the cosmos. 10 of those particular aspects are going to be involving the moon. So the moon in Pisces energy is going to sextile, beautiful interaction with Pluto, the great transformer, who is at the 29th critical crisis karmic degree of this Capricorn energy, which means that the moon is also at the 29th critical crisis karmic degree of Pisces energy. The moon sextiling Pluto in this positive way is going to empower us. It's going to alleviate a lot of the weight, a lot of the pressure that we have been feeling over the last couple of days, trying to again bring a closure, a finality to a lot of the thoughts, the emotions, the experiences that of course we are bringing to an end, to a close, to put behind us. This is an empowerment energy. This is a renewal, a refreshment type of energy to our soul and our spirit. We're actually feeling good. We're aligned with our higher selves. This is a beautiful energy to have this moon leave us upon, because again, 1:14 a.m., this is when this particular transit takes place. And immediately as it takes place, the moon is going to go void, of course. We lock into that Aries energy at 1:27 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we sit in that particular energy until 2:30 a.m. The moon, now in Aries energy, going to immediately jump into the boxing ring, fight it out, square off with Venus. Venus being the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, now in this Capricorn energy. Again, we shifted into this Capricorn energy here yesterday. If you haven't listened to the Astro Forecast or gotten your November energy guide workbook out in front of you, I'm definitely going to recommend that you do all that. We're going to need a couple of days to adjust and acclimatize to this particular energy. But this is the first interaction that Venus in this Capricorn energy is making. And of course, it is not a positive one. A square never is. It's going to highlight where it is that we're going through growing pains. The growing pains that we're currently going through, trying to figure out what we're happy about, what makes us feel safe and secure, what we want for the long term, and what we don't. The moon now in Aries energy, a little bit of a fire starter. We're a little bit more aggressive, if you will, and we're really pushing to kind of push things forward, to jump into something new, to initiate something new, while Venus now in this Capricorn energy, again, fixated on what we have to clean up, wrap up of the old before we're going to give any time, energy, attention to anything new. So emotionally speaking, we want to push on, we want to push forward, we want to make some progress. However, Venus in our heart space knows, taking a good look around at our physical form, that there are a lot of remnants from this old world, this old life, this old reality, this old version of self that need to be wrapped up, finalized before we can start pouring our time, energy, and attention into something new. Now, Venus is then going to make a positive interaction with Saturn. Saturn, of course, rules over the Capricorn energy that Venus is now in. Saturn still retrograde for the next couple of days. We do have Saturn in Pisces energy, again, trying to dissolve the boundaries, the structures, the foundations of this old version of self, the old vision, goals, and dreams that the old version of self had, the old physical structures, foundations, aspects of the old world that the old version of self had built that the new version of self is not in resonance with. So this is definitely going to bring a little bit of, let's call it calmness. little bit of clarity, if you will. Again, we're anchored in with Saturn and with this Capricorn energy. So now we're kind of looking to plan, to strategize, because again, new foundations and structures need to be built. We are looking to improve our, well, where Venus is concerned, our day-to-day lives, our relationship dynamics, our money matters. We are looking to kind of fix, heal, resolve some of the issues in this present moment to, of course, create a better time, energy, and space in the present moment. But we're also looking to make improvements in this present moment to make our future vision, goal, and dream a little bit better as well. And so this is kind of us stabilizing. This is us taking a realistic approach to what needs to change, what needs to transform, because again, we're still in Scorpio season, in order for us to actually be in alignment with the possibility to bring to life the new goals, visions, and dreams that we have for our future selves. The moon in this Aries energy going to trine, beautiful interaction with Mars. Mars being the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, even our anger. Mars rules over the Aries energy that the moon is now in, but Mars is currently in Leo energy, the heart and soul of the zodiac, and gaining a lot of time, energy, space, and distance away from this opposition with Pluto that, of course, has had us sitting on the bench, sitting on pause, if you will, having to build and cultivate this inner spark, this fire, this flame on what we do want to pursue. Again, we haven't been given the green light, go ahead to actually take action and make moves. That's coming, but we're actually starting to feel some momentum building, if you will. We have the opportunity to see where it is that we have new passions building within us. Passions meaning we are hell-bent, damn well and determined to see something through. There's a new inspiration, motivation, determination taking over our heart space, again, Leo energy. And the moon in Aries energy is willing to take action on anything that is going to spice things up, free us from a lot of the limitations, restrictions that we have been trying to bust free from in the past, and put us on a path to be building towards something new. And so this could be where we get a new wind, if you will, where we're gaining momentum, where we're starting to see where particular options and opportunities to take action and make moves are presenting themselves, even though we're not taking action upon them. We are gaining the excitability we need for the future things to come. Just when we're in a good spot, of course, Mercury is going to get into the boxing ring and square off with Saturn. So Mercury, of course, already in his pre-retrograde shadow period in this Sag energy. We have Saturn bringing a harsh reality check. And again, he's still retrograde, so there's a lot of inner reflection on where it is that we need to boss up, where it is that we need to do better and be better and improve and start building the smaller details in our lives that are going to align us with the greater, grander picture. Here's the thing. A square is going to highlight where we're having a hard time, where we're going through growing pains. And right now, Saturn is bringing a seriousness, a somberness that is not a good jam, not a good vibe for that Sagittarius energy that Mercury is in. We want to focus on what we know to be true, what is actually accurate, what we actually have to work with. However, because Mercury is slowing down, because there is going to be this element of confusion and delusion in our headspace, we're not really seeing things as they are. We're trying to. Saturn wants us to be able to see things as they are, but the confusion, the delusion, the veil, if you will, those rose-colored glasses come with the Sag energy that Mercury is currently in. So there could be misunderstandings. We could be focusing on information that we think is true or that we want to be true, but again, has no merit, again, not anchored in truth or reality at all. We could be misinterpreting our, let's call it, interactions. We could be very confused of the direction, the path that we want to be taking within ourselves. We could just be overall a little bit dizzy, a little bit flighty, a little bit all over the place when it comes to our headspace. We could be very focused on topics and themes that we think are very important, that carry a lot of weight in our own lives, when realistically speaking, they're not based in anything truth or tangible, and therefore we're creating a lot of anxiety over things that aren't really true, aren't really anchored into reality. So it could be very hard for A, us to understand what's going on in our own damn selves, B, understand what other people are trying to kind of convey or explain to us, and C, we're focused on things that we really shouldn't be focused on. And this is definitely going to be challenging. It is challenging our ability to align with our higher self. It is challenging our ability to trust our intuition, to trust our instincts. It is challenging us to kind of see the path forward. And it is definitely putting us more in a little bit of a negative Nancy perspective, more so than the optimistic rose-colored glasses that the Sagittarius energy has us looking through. So this is definitely going to be a difficulty in our headspace and in our communication styles. The moon in Aries energy then going to make an awkward interaction with the sun in Scorpio energy. So anytime that the sun and the moon are coming together, there is going to be an aha moment on what we have to do, what we have to pursue, what we want, need, or desire, or what we have to leave behind, what we're no longer willing to experience. Now, what Aries energy and Scorpio energy have in common is Mars as the ruler. Of course, Mars is the primary ruler over Aries energy, the co-ruler over Scorpio energy, but either way, there's an intensity here, there's an impulsivity here, there's an urgency here for us to hurry up and decide, hurry up and make those adjustments and changes, hurry up and make those changes and transformations to our inner realm so that we can start seeing them materialize in our outer realm as well. The moon is then going to come up to, bump into, team up with, conjunct the North Node in Aries energy, which means that the moon in Aries energy sitting across from, directly opposing, the South Node in Libra energy. Again, the South Node in Libra is what we've already perfected, what it is that we've already learned. We're here to put the Libra energy in the past. We're here to break the people pleasing. We're here to kind of get to know ourselves, to strengthen ourselves, to heal ourselves. We're moving away from the codependent relationships, from allowing other people to have too much weight in their thoughts, their ideas, their opinions about our own damn lives. The North Node is what we need to be learning, what we need to be leaning into, and that is individuality. The power of getting to know thyself, to heal thyself, to stand in one power, and actually operate from our most authentic selves. So a conjunction is just as much of an ending as it is a beginning. And what we're putting behind us is, again, this extra layer of breaking away from codependency, breaking away from relationship dynamics that aren't really encouraging us to do what we need to be doing for our own selves. The beginning part here is that we're more open. Again, there's a tenacity, a spiciness that comes with the moon in Aries, where we want to start something new. We want to jump into a new chapter. We want to grow. We want to heal. We want to evolve. We want to see some major changes actually take place. So the sun in Scorpio energy is then going to make an awkward interaction with that North Node. So now we're thinking, again, sun shining a very bright light in Scorpio energy, what needs to die? What needs to end? What needs to be born? What do we need to create? What do we need to give life to? There needs to be just as much of an ending as there is a beginning. The Scorpio energy is the deep change, the deep transformation taking place in our soul, in our spirit. The North Node is asking us to think about where it is that we want to end up. Think about that future vision. Think about that future dream and put into perspective the distance, the space in between where it is that we're at, where it is that we desire to be, and what it is that we have power and control over in this present moment, in the here and now, to actually do, to actually pursue, so that we can start aligning with being able to manifest and achieve the goal, the visions, the dreams that we now have for our future selves. The moon in Aries then going to make a positive interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, blessings, who is retrograde in Gemini energy. So again, retrograde means that we're looking inside of ourselves. This is an inner reflection. And in the Gemini energy, it says everything to do with our mental plane, our thoughts, our opinions, our idea, our wisdom, our knowledge that we've previously learned from, again, previous tough love life lessons that we may or may not be integrating into this present moment. What does that mean? It means that you may know better. Why aren't you doing better? You may know a certain way of bringing something new to life. Why aren't you bringing it to life? You may have a certain thought, idea, or opinion, but now new information has presented itself in order to shift that, but yet you're still standing very much on the hill in which you want to die on, trying to defend your old belief system. So this particular energy between the moon and Jupiter is bringing a new excitement, bringing a new possibility into the realm where we can grow, where we can evolve, where we can integrate the wisdom, the knowledge that we've already accumulated into our present day. And of course, the whole point of doing that is to prevent looping patterns, looping behaviors, prevent making the same mistakes over and over again. So there is this optimism, there is this confidence that we're now tapping into. We're almost eager beavers at this particular point where we want to throw ourselves in certain situations and circumstances to actually bring forth and to put into practice what it is that we've already learned. Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, now in this Capricorn energy, is going to be making a positive interaction with Uranus, the great awakener, who is retrograde in Taurus energy. So the Taurus energy that Uranus is currently in, Venus rules over that particular energy. And of course, this is earth on earth action, Capricorn being a cardinal earth sign, Taurus energy being a fixed earth sign. Earth energy means that we're very present. We're very aware not only of our physical forms, but of our physical circumstances, both what is working and what is not. Now, where Venus is involved, we're in the heart space. We're trying to figure out what we want to build, what we want to create in order to provide ourselves with happiness, with joy, with safety, security, especially for the long term, being in this Capricorn energy. Uranus, on the other hand, retrograde in this Taurus energy, is supposed to be illuminating where it is that we're holding on to particular aspects, attachments, people, places, and things that, of course, the old version of self had built and created, had attached themselves to, that this new version of self is no longer resonating with. This is going to be a wild card energy. There's going to be a sudden shock to the system, good, bad, or otherwise, that is going to open up our heart space, have us contemplating different options and opportunities that we haven't even thought of as of yet. This is going to put us in a different mood, a different attitude to see where it is that, again, we have to bring a certain closure, a certain finality to certain topics and themes that the old version of self had built and created in order for the higher self to actually have a place to build something new, to create something new that is more in alignment to not only our higher self, our soul self, to our authentic heart space, to make us truly feel happy. And again, the whole goal here is to create a realm in reality, not only that looks good, but that feels good as well. So a little bit of a creative force energy coming in to kind of give us this download, this light bulb, this epiphany, this aha moment on where it is that we can see things differently. And therefore, the minute that you change your emotions, the minute that you change your perspective, the change is already taking effect. You have to get your inner realm, your heart and your head on the same page before we're going to see that particular change manifest in our physical form. The moon in Aries then going to semi-square Uranus. The semi-square isn't as intense as a full-blown square, but it is going to create a little bit of tension and conflict. A lot of this conflict is coming because we have ants in our pants. With the moon being in Aries energy, we want to take action, we want to make moves, we want to keep the physical form involved. We want to keep the physical body engaged in something so that we're not allowing all of that energy to kind of bounce around. The problem is that, Uranus being retrograde in this Taurus energy, so fixated on trying to keep things the same that there's really not a whole lot of room and not a lot of options and opportunity to make the changes in our physical realm. So the changes that we're able to make right now are to our emotions and to our headspace, which of course frustrates that Aries energy a little bit because we actually want to take action and make moves in our physical realm that we're not given permission to make as of yet. The moon in Aries then going to make a positive interaction with Pluto, again at the final degrees of Capricorn energy. This is a feistiness, this is a spice, this is a tenacity, if you will. This is a new spark, new fire, new flame in our mood and our attitude to burn the whole thing down. What do I mean by that? Well, Pluto is in the final days of being in Capricorn energy. We will be closing the door on this 16-year chapter. We will never see Pluto in Capricorn energy ever again in our lifetimes. And Pluto, being at this 29th critical crisis karmic degree of Capricorn energy, is about totally destroying and demolishing the old structures, the old world, the old version of self, everything old that we now need to put behind us is coming with this Pluto energy. This is death and destruction at its finest. And the moon in Aries energy is all fired up, all lit up to light whatever we need to light on fire to burn that down so that we have the space to start building and creating something new. The moon is then going to make a positive interaction with Saturn, Saturn being the Lord of karma, ruling over roles, responsibilities, system structures, foundations, willpower, and discipline, currently retrograde for the next couple of days. We have Saturn in this Pisces energy wrapping up a 30-year chapter, a 30-year cycle. So again, Pluto is at an ending in a closure series. Saturn is at an ending, a closure series. Neptune is at an ending, a closure series. And Uranus is at an ending in a closure series. Thus why, as eager beavers as we may be to start building something new, we cannot until the old has fallen. The moon interacting with Saturn definitely going to give us a little bit of a reality check on where it is that we have to calm our horses down, so to speak, where we have to kind of, get the ants in our pants to be a little bit more calm and docile, because right now the energy that we want to be putting into the physical realm, making changes and transformations, we need to be pouring into our inner realm. We need to understand where it is that we do need to boss up, where we need to do better and be better, where it is that we do have to kind of upgrade into this new level of soul self, where it is that we do have to have a little boldness and bravery, a little bit of tenacity, if you will, to cut through the cords of attachment that we currently have holding us back from actually moving on and moving forward. And so this is going to give us a little bit of a tunnel vision on where it is that our emotions need to change, our headspace needs to change, our perspective needs to change, before we're going to see those physical changes in our exterior realms. Now, the last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in this Aries energy, trining beautiful interaction with Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, who is in Sagittarius energy. This is fire on fire action. We love fire on fire action. Fire, first of all, helps burn the crud away. Helps us to burn through the cords of attachment that, again, we've realized are holding us back, preventing us from making the kind of progress that we want to make. Fire then regenerates. It reignites the fire, the spark, the flame in our heart space, in our soul space, in our creative space as well. And then that fire energy, again, lights a big, big light within us, kind of putting us on a brand new path with a brand new mood, a brand new attitude. And because the moon, our heart space, and Mercury, our head space, are working together, we're finally on the same page for the first time in a long time. The Sag energy is very futuristically focused, very optimistic, very confident that whatever it is that we can dream up, we can actually achieve it and bring it to life. And the moon in Aries energy just wants to take action and make moves, just wants to spice life up just a tad, and definitely wants to put us in more of an initiator, leadership type of role to kind of, make the changes happen in our lives for us so that we're not sitting around and kind of being forced into changes when things are happening to us. And again, just a reminder, nothing actually happens to us. Everything is happening for us. That is a shift in perception, a shift in perspective that is definitely going to help you have a better mood, a better attitude in embracing and embodying and accepting the changes that are definitely taking place.